All right, we have all been wearing face masks so long, it's kind of easy to forget that we even have them on. Leslie Pilgrim of Huntington Beach, California, forgot to take her mask off while she was posing for her new driver's license photo. Now, the clerk was so used to masks that he didn't notice it either. That is, until he took the picture. So he took another photo without the mask, but when her license arrived, guess what, Keith?
What?
It had the mask photo on it.
That's awesome.
Now she's got to redo the whole thing.
Oh, man.
You know why? Because it's probably the best driver's license photo anyone ever took.
They're not usually very good.
No, they're usually not. I think I should do my next one with a mask on. It'll probably be better. Plus, I'll tell you, there's another benefit to that.
What's that?
It's valid in Saudi Arabia. There's a good reason to have it on.
Wow.
And by the way, having a picture with a mask, it's the only form of voter ID that Democrats would ever agree to. That's a good reason. Besides, this is nothing. We've got a sneak preview of Joe Biden's official presidential portrait. Here it is right here.
Oh, see this.
See that? Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it's going to look.
Nice. That's actually really nice.
Yeah. Someday they're going to put that
time.
picture on money, and then he'll spend it all when he gets that, right?
You know, speaking of spending it all, my wife.
Uh-oh.
Oh, pause there for
Don't-
laughter. Well, she was very upset with me because, I got online, did a little overspending, went overboard
Surely not.
on stuff I call superfluous.
Superfluous.
Is that a good word?
What?
Keith, I'm not going to lie to you. That just doesn't sound like a word that you would really use.
No.
Well,
You think?
No, that's
don't
the
think-
writers trying to make him sound smarter.
I'm not sure what it means, but I learned that from my word of the day, toilet paper.
You have that,
I got
right?
that for Christmas.
That's great. Everyone should have a roll of that.
Well, anyway, she asked me, why did you spend so much money on pointless things and never on her?
That's a good
Something to
question.
think about. So I put a map on the refrigerator, gave her a dart,
Yep.
and told her to throw it on the map, and I would take her anywhere the dart hit, no matter where in the world it landed.
You know, I think that's a really pretty generous idea. So where are you guys going to be going?
We'll be spending 2 weeks in the back of the refrigerator. Well, that's where it landed.
You know what? I think you might be spending 2 weeks in the fridge.
It's a
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go now to a Chatsworth, California man. He wanted to help his favorite Mexican restaurant, a place called Las Toras, survive the pandemic. So to promote the restaurant, he spent 24 hours sitting in a kid's wading pool that was filled with Las Torres' bean dip.
Whoa.
24 hours in a... Think about that, sitting in bean dip.
No. No.
I got to tell you,
My mother-in-law, yeah.
Well, I just want to tell you, I've seen some kids' wading pools, and it looked just like that. It really did. This guy's name is Hunter Ray Barker, but his friends just call him Chip.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank
Chip
you.
That was
Anyway, he says he hopes this will make people eat at Las Torres. I'm sure it will, but ain't nobody going to be eating that bean dip. I'm telling you that right now.
There's
Now,
so many
as-
lines here I could use.
I'm shutting up.
As you know, I'm not a big cat fan. And here's some science to back up my feelings on that.
we're
Because
dog
researchers divided 36 cats into two groups. Half of them watched an actor help the cat's owner open a container. The other half saw the actor act rude and refused to help. Afterward, the actor offered treats to the cats, and every one of the cats took the treats. They tried this with dogs, and dogs wouldn't take a treat from someone who had been mean to their owners.
Wow.
Cats didn't care.
There you go.
So the researchers, who must be cat people, said, this does not mean cats are selfish. They're just socially awkward and bad at reading people's intentions. Like some voters, I think is what
Sounds
that
a little bit like Trey Corley myself.
I think it is, yeah. Anyway, finally, speaking of good dogs, Nashville businessman Bill Dorey, right here in Nashville, had an 8-year-old border collie named Lulu, who was so good that when Bill passed away last year at the age of 85, he left Lulu, get this, $5 million in his will for the dog.
Saw that.
Whew. I mean, that's more than the Queen gave Harry and Meghan, right? That's some major dough. Anyway, her caretaker says Lulu isn't spoiled because how can you spend $5 million on a dog? I mean, I don't know, buy maybe sausages from Whole Foods or something? That might cost $5 million. Here's my question. If cats are so socially inept, then how come a bunch of them are sucking up to Lulu to try to get her money? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, on that dog of a joke, it's time for us to debark from this segment.
Oh, that was good.
How about that?
Ooh.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Debark.
But until next time, always remember that we read the news.
So
Wait, don't click that button. Well, unless it was the subscribe button, and then carry on. And while you're down there, hit that little notification bell too. Oh, and if you leave a like and a comment, I will personally give my dog Toby a treat.